Hi guys, my name's Connor, welcome back to another video. So today I've got my first tutorial here for you guys today. A basic eye tutorial to draw an eye with a ballpoint pen. This is just a really test video to see how my setup will go. If there's any queries you guys have about my setup, it was a bit difficult drawing with a big chunk of plastic above my head, but you know, first tutorial video can get better. So what I'm doing here is I'm just beginning to sketch out the basic shape of the eye, which is really just like an egg shape. Just making sure I just get it to how I want. This part is really important because this kind of decides where the iris is going to be. I've also just added the tear duct there as well, and the overlapping bit at the side corner of the eye, and there we go with my fingers covering what you can see. I'm sorry about that. It's just been a bit difficult. I think I realised around about here. Yep, there we go. I tried to move my hand so you can see what I'm actually doing. What I've just done is that if my hand moves out of the way, is I'm just really lining where the tear duct would be. So here I am marking out the iris, just very lightly, and then I go over it a bit heavier when I'm happy with where it can be. It's really important to get the iris where the actual iris of the eye, it's really important to get it where it will be looking, otherwise it can end up looking cross-eyed or just not very healthy eye. So what I've done also is I've just drawn in the pupil quickly, you know, just I can easily change it and correct it when I go back in. So right now I'm just fine-tuning everything, make it a tiny bit darker, making sure it's the final line I want. So there goes my thumb over the picture again, and as you can see, as I've lifted it off, you can see that I'm starting to add the outlines for my reflections. Try to keep the reflections rounded, which helps them look a bit more natural, but also try and keep them with the shape of the eye. That just helps to add a bit of a interesting, makes them look more realistic, not interesting. God, Connor, get your words right. So here I've started to add in the top eyelid. I've always found this bit difficult because sometimes it can just look like a caterpillar that's decided to come and sit along on top of the eye, but after some time you do get some practice. Here I'm adding the waterline for the bottom eyelid. I'm making it pretty dark, so when I do the skin tone of the actual bottom eyelid, I'm going to make the skin tone lighter so it looks like there's a ledge, which is the waterline. Oh, there goes one of my hairs. As you can see, that was probably from when I banged my head against the camera. I'm surprised it's not shaking as much though, because the desk was going back and forth. I sound like a DJ then. So yet again, I am fine-tuning everything. You may notice that I really like fine-tuning things. Just see if it's okay. There goes my thumb over the camera thingy, over the view of the camera. I'm so sorry about this. Wait until it leaves so I can see what I've done. This is what I've done, yeah. I've started colouring in the actual iris, started adding detail to it. Basically the top of the iris is always dark because it's closer to the edge, which also adds an effect of it actually being a circle. I've also coloured in the pupil a bit, not completely, just a tiny bit. So what I've done is I've just added some more detail to the waterline and the skin tone underneath the waterline, and what I'm doing right now is I'm just fine-tuning the iris a bit more. I wasn't looking at a reference photo for this. I like to draw my eyes from just imagination because I think it's a lot more interesting. But when you're starting out, it's definitely a good idea to have a look at a few photos of eyes and just to really see how they are formed and their shape and stuff like that. Also, one thing I didn't before is that you need to make sure you're colouring the white of the eye, shade it, sorry, because it's a circle and it's not completely white because it's a circle, it has form, and there's shadows going around the edges. So I'm starting to work on the skin tone of the of underneath the waterline to make it look like it's a ledge. This is a really useful technique. It's really good. So I had to add some wrinkles as well underneath the waterline because that's what you kind of find with eyes. There's often some wrinkles there, unless the person has had a lot of sleep. I've started to do the same to the top eyelid to actually physically make it look like it's something that's bulging to the edges. I've given it some colour. Some tone, sorry. My brain isn't working today. I've been ill. Don't judge. So again, just doing a bit more shading. This is just really the final few processes of the eye. This is just what you feel is correct to do. Again, just going over the top bit again and starting to add more shadow to the whites of the eye. Because remember, they are not completely white. They have shadows towards the edges because they are literally a circle that is stuffed into a bit of bone and skin. A soft, squidgy jelly circle. Now I've started to do the eyelashes. I really used to hate drawing eyelashes on eyes. I often avoided them. But literally all you do is when you do eyelashes is you do not hesitate, because when you hesitate they can end up looking really thick. You just need to do what I'm doing here, or what you can barely see because, well, my thumb is decided to cover the whole image, but I'm flicking the pen outwards, which creates a nice line that goes gradually thinner and sharper, which really does help it look like eyelashes. The eyelashes that I do often look like the person's wearing a lot of mascara. Again, just doing it at the bottom, but the eyelashes that are coming out the bottom eyelid waterline are often more tattier. They're clumped together in some places, and they're shorter and longer and stuff. People just seem to not care about them as much. So this is it. I think I pulled away a bit to give you guys a little look. Oh no, I'm going back in. Oh yeah, don't forget to sign it. Don't forget to sign it. Of course, that's important. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was useful. Hopefully you got some tips from this. If you did, please can you click subscribe down below, and I will see you next video. Goodbye.